I'm really excited about today's video because we are going to talk about reopening. Finally, Ontario has a 3-stage reopening plan in place starting the week of June 14th. While we patiently wait for that to happen, let's look at other countries that have already reopened and see if we can spot some trends from them. If we apply those trends to Toronto, can we make some educated guesses on the reopening impacts on Toronto real estate? Let's take a look at the UK. It is one of the hardest hit countries in the world, with almost 68,000 cases in one day as its peak. Then vaccination started early this year. Look at that falling curve. It is really encouraging. Things started reopening in April. And this is how people are reacting to the reopening in London. If I don't see people wearing masks occasionally, I would have thought this was filmed before COVID. Consumer spending is rising to above pre-pandemic levels because people are hungry to spend their extra savings. The UK is set to fully reopen on June 21st. That's when all legal limits on social contact will be removed. For you soccer fans out there, you must know that the Euro Cup is kicking off on June 11th. The British government will be allowing up to 10,000 spectators in English stadiums. If everything goes well with the full reopening, then Wembley Stadium will host final match on July 11th at a fully capacity of 90,000 people. That will be a huge milestone, not just for soccer fans, but for the whole world. Really looking forward to that. Let's turn our eyes over to our neighbor, New York City in the US. On May 3rd, around 80,000 municipal workers in New York City returned to offices. And here's what Mayor de Blasio said on WCBS News Radio.
Mayor de Blasio is insistent there is work that needs to be done.
I will have this discussion with anyone, anytime. In person is more effective, more efficient, there's more collaboration, there's more creativity. As a manager, night and day when I'm dealing with people in person than via Zoom.
He tells WNYC the city's ready to welcome municipal workers back to the office starting Monday, around 80,000 who've been working remotely since the pandemic started.
In New York, the city government is the largest employer, so having municipal workers return to office is viewed as a signal to private corporations to follow. Coincidentally, the leading New York City-based bank, JP Morgan, is also requiring workers to return to its offices. 2 weeks ago, New York City kickstarted its major reopening.
We're going to begin tonight with the big reopening of the Big Apple, a symbolic step for a country finding its way out of the pandemic. 14 months after the nation's largest city was forced into hibernation, New York City is an insomniac once again. Tonight, restaurants, gyms, and theaters can operate at full capacity. Masks are no longer required for those who are fully vaccinated, and even the subway is running around the clock. Last March, New York accounted for half of all new infections in the U.S., and as we come on the air, just 2% of the country's cases now come from the city. And nationwide, new infections are below 30,000 a day. That's for the first time in 11 months.
So far, so good. Cases have been dropping since the reopening. If everything goes well, New York City will reopen 100% on July 1st. Really exciting news indeed. Coming back to Toronto, we are just a little bit behind on the reopening. And I'm very positive that we will see similar trends as London and New York City. And here are my 3 predictions after the reopening. Number 1, downtown Toronto will come back to life. There are 3 major reasons to go to downtown Toronto: for fun, for work, and for study. When restaurants and pubs reopen in downtown, I think we can expect to see what we saw in London earlier. It is going to be very hard to find a table. In London, restaurant bookings are roughly 65% higher than the pre-pandemic days. My friends who work at the TD head office said that they have already received an email telling them to expect a return to office plan in the coming weeks. I would expect other companies to follow similar footsteps to have employees back to the office, at least on a part-time basis. The University of Toronto is planning to have most academic activities take place in person on the campus coming September. A guide to a safe return to campus for 2021 is now published on the university website. You see, when fun, work, and study all return, downtown would naturally become a vibrant place again. Number 2, the rental market will recover. When students and workers return to downtown, I think it is pretty obvious that the rental demand is going to go up. Renters are figuring that out too. They actually want to sign a one-year lease instead of going month by month so they can lock in the lower rents now. I would say the rock bottom rents are gone. It will probably take at least another year for rents to recover to pre-pandemic levels, but they will be trending upward from this point on. Number 3, the low-rise and high-rise trends will reverse. People have been flocking to the low-rise market over the past year because they want more space, and some people think that they will be working from home forever. The unexpected demand drove prices way up, and the price gap between high-rise and low-rise suddenly widened from around $450,000 to $700,000. If you missed the video on high-rise versus low-rise data, make sure you catch it afterward at the link below. I think low-rise market will cool down a little bit because of the high price, and people will spend less time at home when they can start going out again. So I would say low-rise price will stay more or less the same for the rest of the year. On the other hand, the demand for high-rise will increase due to affordability and the city coming back to life again. So high-rise prices will go up to narrow the gap with low-rise prices. In fact, new condo sales in Toronto region in April broke their 20-year record, and 2/3 of the sales came from pre-construction projects launched in April. So you can start to see a bit of shift in the market dynamics. I will keep you posted on market data as we move through the reopening stages. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss out on important market updates.